Hello everyone, my name is Rushalai Kasidsid, and today I will be discuss the instrument of trade policy. First, let's start with the introduction. Free trade refers to a situation where a government does not attempt to restrict what its citizens can buy from other country or what they can sell to another country. While many nations are normally committed to the free trade, they intend to intervene in international trade to protect the interests of politically important groups or their economy and their industries. So, how do government intervene in international trade? There are 7 main instruments of trade policy. First is tariff. Tariff are tax imposed by one country on goods import from another countries. Example, if Korean noodles are import to the Philippines, the government can add the tax, can make them more expensive. Therefore, the purpose is to protect local noodles makers because people will choose the cheaper local noodles instead of the imported ones. Second is subsidies. A subsidy is a financial or other assistance given by the government or public authority to individual, business, or industry to encourage a particular economic activity, promote social policy, or keep the price of commodity or service low. For example, Filipino rice farmer may get cheaper fertilizer or direct cash support from the government. The purpose is the purpose or the reason to make this rice cheaper and competitive against imported rice. Third is import quotas. Import quotas is a government-imposed limit on the country's specific product or commodity that can be imported into country during a particular period. For example, only 5,000 foreign cars may be allowed into the Philippines in a 1 year. Of course, the purpose is to prevent the foreign cars. Foreign cars can be foreign cars from flooding the market and protect local car manufacturing and workers. Of course, the purpose here is to protect our local makers, our local manufacturer. So it is important to use this instrument. So fourth is voluntary export restraint or export limit agreed by the country. The trade barrier where an exporting country agrees to limit the quantity of the specific goods in export to particular importing country, typically to avoid the imposition or more severe mandatory restrictions like tariff or quotas by the important nations. For example, Japan may agree to send fewer steel product to the US. The purpose is to keep keep the trade relationship peaceful and avoid bigger trade wars. So 5 is local content requirements. Government policies are mandate a specific percentage or quantity of domestic produced good, service, or labor used in particularly industry or project to foster domestic economic growth and employment. For example, is cell phone. Cell phone company in the Philippines might need to use at least 30% locally made part like packaging or chips or screen or battery or etc. Basta may percentage yung product. So, the purpose here is to support local industry and provide job to local workers. What I've said earlier, this is the purpose why government imposed this rule is to protect our local manufacturers or makers, and also to support our local makers. So 6 is anti-dumping policy, a type of trade measure a country used to protect its domestic industry from foreign products that are sold at price considered unfairly low, also known as dump prices. So, example, if China sell cement in the Philippines, Philippines are extremely lower price, our government can stop it by adding penalties or taxes. The purpose is to protect Filipino business from being destroyed by unfair foreign competition. So, what I said earlier, paulit-ulit, is to protect our industries, our economic, and also our important important makers or our economy, of course. 7 is to administrative policies or organizational statements that provide general framework and guide decision making for how an institution or agency operates, ensuring consistency, accountability, and efficiency in the international process and management. So, example, imported chicken must pass very strict health and safety check before it can be sold in the Philippines. Why? Well, the purpose here is it's for our own sakes, as like safety. It's also to protect our local farmers from too much foreign competition, which is kumbaga daw dito is mas strict pa nila yung policy nila, or like for example, if your product is food, they need to check the safety of the food, also like that. So the like what I've said is to protect our local farmers from too much foreign competition. In short, these seven instruments, in short, free trade are sound goods. In reality, government use the 7 instruments, which is tariff, subsidy, import quotas, like anti-dumping whatsoever, is to protect the local economy, industry, and jobs. That's why Sometimes I know we need to use it to protect our local industry. And that's all. Good day, everyone, and thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Mariel G. Aravalo and I am the second reporter of Week 6. So my topic is tariff. So what is tariff? Tariff is a tax levied on imports that effectively raises the cost of imported products relative to domestic products. So ibig sabihin, ang tariff is yan yung mga ini-impose ng ating governments para sa mga imported products na pumapasok dito sa ating bansa. Yan yung tinatawag na fee or charges na kailangan bayaran ng mga foreign businessman para makapasok yung kanilang imported products or goods dito sa ating bansa. So, for example, si Philippine government puts a tariff of 25% imported steel from China. So, si Philippine Construction Company is gusto niyang bumili ng steel from China na nagko-cost ng 100 pesos per tons. Now, ang government ng Philippines nagbigay ng 25% na tariff which is may additional na 25 pesos per ton. So, ang kailangan nilang bayaran na taxes is nakaka 125 pesos sila per ton. So, yung 25 pesos na kanilang babayaran is yan yung magiging revenue ng ating government. So, every transaction is a business. So, let's proceed to the specific tariffs. So, what is specific tariffs? Specific tariffs are levied as a fixed charge for each unit of a good imported. So, ibig sabihin, ang specific tariff naman is yan yung fixed fee charge ng kada unit na imported goods or products, no matter if kung magkano pa ang price ng item. Like, binabayaran mo ang set or fixed na amount ng tax sa per unit or per product na ini-import mo. For example, the Philippine government charges a 10 pesos tariff every kilogram of imported rice. If ang isang company nag-import ng 100 kilogram ng bigas and ang tariff is magiging 1,000 because the computation is 100 kilogram of rice times natin sa 10 pesos per yan na yung specific tariff natin. So, equals 1,000 pesos. Hindi nagmamatter if ang presyo ng bigas is tumataas ba or bumababa. Basta yung tax na inagrihan na inimpose ng ating government is nag-i-stay pa rin. So, let's proceed to the ad valorem tariff. So, what is ad valorem tariff? Are levied as a proportion of the value of the imported goods. Ibig sabihin, ang ad valorem tariff naman is a tax that is a percentage of the value price of the imported goods or product. Kumbaga, nagbabayad ka ng tax sa kung magkano ang cost ng items. For example is, the government charges a 20% ad valorem tariff on imported cars. So for example, ang isa ka kotse is nagko-cost ng 1 million. So ang tariff niya per car is 200,000. Kasi ang computation natin is 20% of 1 million pesos ng car is equals 200,000. Kumbaga, ang ad valorem tariff is nagbibigay ka ng tariffs per unit or per products. Ang specific tariffs naman is yung kabuuan ang kinukompute natin, while ang ad valorem tariffs naman is per item or per products ang ating kinukompute. So, let's proceed to the last topic. Why do government impose tariff? So, government imposed tariff to protect the local businesses here in our country. So, we all know naman na yung mga imported product is mahal masyado, so expensive. Kaya, ginawa nila ng tariffs para maprotektahan ang mga local businesses natin. People also compare both products from local and foreign since imported products is expensive. So, tangkilikin talaga ng mga customers ang budget-friendly na mga products which is from the local businesses. So, that's all my topic and thank you.
So, good morning marketers. My name is Bernard A. Emerecha. So, we will tackle about the subsidies and import quotas and voluntary export trains. So, ano nga ba ang subsidies? Subsidies is government payment to domestic producers. Ang subsidies daw, it is financial support that coming from the government or organization. Siyempre, to promote economic growth by supporting specific industries or sectors. So, ano nga ba yung mga sectors na nagpo-promote ng ating mga ekonomiya? The first example is the agriculture, the tourism, education and training, manufacturing, and etc. And the next one is syempre to encourage innovations. By funding research and development, subsidies can provide financial support for R&D or research development activities, enabling companies to invest in new technologies and ideas. Subsidies help domestic producers compete against low-cost foreign imports by reducing the production cost, lowering domestic producers' costs, making their product more price competitive with imports. And the next one is gain exports market. Paano nga ba nakaka-help ang subsidies to gain export market? Syempre to reducing the production cost pa rin. And the next one is increasing global market share. Subsidies help them to expand their exports and gain market shares. And the next one is enhancing competitiveness. Subsidies can enable domestic producers to compete more effectively with foreign producers and export markets. Then the next one, consumers typically observe the cost of subsidies. Consumers do not typically observe the cost of subsidies. Instead, they benefit from lower price due to the government financial support. So, saan nga ba nanggagaling yung financial support ng isang government? Nanggagaling ito sa tax ng mga tao. Since subsidies are form of government spending, the funds must came from the somewhere, usually from the tax revenue collected from the population. So the next topic is all about the import quotas and voluntary export restraints. An import quotas is a direct restriction on the quantity of good that may be imported into a company. Import quotas, it is a type of trade restrictions that limits the quantity of particular goods or services that can be imported to the country. So the next topic will be the tariff rate quotas, a hybrid of a quotas and a tariff where a lower tariff is applied to the imported within the quota than to those who over the quota. Ang tariff pala guys, it is a tax that imposed by the government on imported goods or services. It is a trade policies that allows a specified quantity of a product to be imported at a lower tariff rate but applies a higher tariff rate to those na lumagpas na sa kanilang quota. So the next topic will be voluntary export restraints. Are agreement between countries where the exporting countries voluntarily limits the quantity of goods exported to the importing countries. So bakit nga ba ginagamit ang voluntary export restraints? Siyempre, to avoid the trade disputes by limiting export, country can avoid tariff or other trade restrictions. And the last topic will be quota rent. It is a economic benefit profit earned from importing a good under tariff quotas. Quota rent can be captured by, syempre, the first one is the importers, kung sino yung naglalabas ng isang goods. Importers who may benefit from higher price due to the limit supplies. And the second one is the exports who may benefit from higher price or restricted competitors. And syempre, and the last one, the government through acquiring quotas, licenses, or allocating them to favored parties.
Good morning everyone. Today I will discuss to you the import quotas and voluntary export restraint. Question: who benefits from import quotas and voluntary export restraint? Import quotas and voluntary export restraint benefits domestic producers by limiting import competitions but they raise prices of import goods for consumers. Ang import quotas, ito ay ang patakaran ng isang gobyerno na dapat may limit lang ang pwede mong i-import o iangat sa isang bansa. Ang Pilipinas nagtakda ng quota na 1,000 tulinadang bigas kada taon ang pwede nilang i-import sa isang bansa. Ngunit ang makakaapektuhan dito ay ang mga consumer dahil tumataas ang presyo. Pero nakikinabang dito ang mga local industry tulad ng mga magsasaka. Voluntary export restraint. Ito ay kasunduan kung saan ang bansa mismo na nag-i-import ang nagbabawas sa kanilang product na ipinapadala sa ibang bansa. Bawa, noong 1980s, pinayagan ng bansang Japan na bawasan ang pag-export ng kotse papuntang USA para hindi malugi ang car industry ng mga Amerika. Epekto nito ay nakinabang ang US car markets dahil mas kaunti ang Japanese car, pero ang mga mamimili sa USA ay nagbabayad ng mas mahal. Local content requirement. A local content requirement demands that some specific fraction of a good be produced domestically. The requirement can be in physical terms or value terms. Local content requirements benefit domestic producers and jobs, but consumer price highly prices. Ang local content requirements ay isang batas o patakaran na nagsasabi na kapag may produkto na ginawa o binenta sa ating bansa, dapat may bahagi nito ay galing sa local materials or lokal na pagawaan. Ibig sabihin, hindi pwedeng puro imported lang. Kailangan may halong lokal na ginagamit. Halimbawa ng local content requirements, car industry. Ang gobyerno nagsabi na 40% ang pyesa ng sasakyan nga ibebenta sa Pilipinas dapat galing sa local suppliers. Mga benefits ng local content requirements ay mga local suppliers. Layunin nito ay tulungan ang lokal na negosyo at magsasaka, mabigyan ng trabaho sa mga mamamayan at bawasan ang sobrang pag-import ng mga produkto.
Good morning, marketers. I am Cherry Hilado and I will be discussing the administrative policies. So, first is the administrative trade policy. It is a bureaucratic rules that are designed to make it difficult for imports to enter a country. So, ang ganitong policy ay na-implement para hindi madaling makapasok yung mga foreign products so that ang mga bansa ay nagre-rely lamang into a local products. These policies hurts consumers by denying access to possibly superior foreign products. Bali yung ibang consumer is hindi sang-ayon or it's hard for them to rely on local products kasi mas nasasatisfy sila sa imported products. Second is the dumping. It is selling goods in a foreign market below their cost of production or selling goods in a foreign market at below their fair market value. binebenta nila yung kanilang products sa ibang bansa in a lower price. This policy is a way to unload excess production in our foreign markets. Ang dumping ay natatawag rin na predatory behavior kasi binebenta nila yung product in a smaller price, at kapag humina na yung kanilang mga competitors, is bigla nilang tinataasan yung presyo ng kanilang mga products.
Good morning, everyone. I will discuss the two types of argument, which is political argument and economic argument. Political argument, it is protecting the interests of certain group within a nation, normally producer, often at the expense of other groups, normally consumer. Here is the example of political argument. Dapat dagdagan ng pamahalaan ang pondo ng edukasyon sapagkat ito ang susi upang umunlad ang ating bansa. I believe with this quote, education is the key of success. Kapag marami ang nakapagtapos ng pag-aaral, mas malaki ang tsansa ng ating bansa na umunlad ang ating ekonomiya. Economic argument, boosting the overall wealth of a nation to the benefits of all, both producer and consumer. Economic argument, it is focuses on kabuhayan, kita, trabaho at pag-unlad ng ating bansa. And sa madaling salita, economic argument, it is umiikot ito sa kita, trabaho at kaunlaran ng ating bansa. And halimbawa, dapat bawasan ang mga buwis ng mga maliliit na mga negosyante upang magkaroon sila ng malaking kita. Kapag lumago ang kanilang negosyo, mas madami ang magkakaroon ng trabaho at tataas ang kabuuang kita ng ating ekonomiya.
Good morning, marketers. I'm Michelle Ambasa. We will tackle about political argument for intervention. Kapag sinabi natin political argument, ibig sabihin ito yung mga dahilan kung bakit nakikialam ang government para sa bansa dahil para ito sa kapakanan ng tao at seguridad ng bansa. Political arguments for government intervention include, first is protecting jobs. Kapag sinabi nating protecting jobs, ang mga government, sila yung nagproprotekta ng mga local industries dahil kapag maraming product ang pumapasok mula sa ibang bansa, merong posibilidad na malugi ang mga local business at maraming tao ang mawawalan ng trabaho. Kaya nakikialam or pinoprotektahan ng government yung mga local business para hindi mawalan ng trabaho yung mga tao. Second is protecting industries, them important for national security. Dito naman merong mga industries na mahalaga sa ating bansa na nag-i-import ng kanilang product, like for example, gasolina. Ini-import ng ibang bansa yung gasolina dito sa ating bansa at kapag naging kontrolado nila ang pag-i-import, merong posibilidad or magkakaroon ng problema dito sa ating bansa dahil nga kinokontrol nila ang pag-i-import ng gasolina or maaaring tumaas ang presyo ng gasolina. Kaya sinusigurado ng government na meron silang control pagdating sa pag-i-import ng gasolina dito sa ating bansa. Number is 3, retailing to unfair foreign competitions. Dito naman, merong mga bansang gumagamit ng unfair practices tulad ng paggamit nila ng dumpling. Yung dumpling, ito yung pagbebenta ng product nila na mas mura compare sa kanilang competitors para malugi ang kanilang mga competitors or gumagamit sila ng subsidies. Kaya nakikialam ang government or gumagamit ang government ng tariffs and quotas para maging fair ang business. Next is number 4 is protecting consumers from dangerous products. Dito naman, pinoprotektahan ng government yung mga consumers na bumibili ng product na hindi maganda or delikado. Kaya nagkaroon tayo ng Consumers Act of the Philippines or Republic Act number 7394 para protektahan ang mga consumers sa mga product na hindi maganda. Next is number 5, furthering the goals of foreign policy. Dito naman is taking the actions, creating strategies and making decisions na makakatulong sa kanilang bansa para ma-achieve ang kanilang objectives, and then to build a relationship with another countries or to promote values like peace, democracy, and human rights. Last is number 6, protecting the human rights of individuals and exporting countries. Dito naman pinoprotektahan ng mga government yung mga karapatan natin bilang tao at nakikialam ang government pagdating sa hindi tamang paggamit or gumagamit ng child labor or sa pilitang pagtrabaho. Pinapakita dito ng government na meron tayong karapatan at pinoprotektahan tayo sa mga maling gawain kahit pa nasa labas pa natin ito ng sariling bansa. Next topic is all about economic argument for intervention or economic arguments for government intervention and international trade include. Number 1 is infant industry argument. Ito yung mga bagong industry sa ibang bansa na mahina pa or hindi pa kaya makipagsabayan sa other countries kaya nakikialam ang government dito para sila ay protektahan or bigyan sila ng tariffs and subsidies. Number 2 is strategic trade policy. Ito yung mga policy kung saan nakikialam ang government para suportahan at tulungan ang isang industries na merong potensyal para ito ay magtagumpay or para mas makilala ito sa market. Thank you.